What is this? Like, you're kidding. This makes me so upset because I think these filters are so damaging. Like, this is my skin. This is what I look like. And I got some makeup on too. And then, of course, you go on social media and you see people looking like this. Like, look at my lips, look at my skin, look at my everything. Like, how are you not supposed to compare yourself when you see this and someone does this and you can barely even tell that there's a filter on? And then you're at home looking in the mirror and you see this. This is why I never use filters on my accounts unless it's for demonstration purposes like this, because I think it's just so damaging to our mental health. And this just feeds our insecurities way more because you're going to look at yourself without the filter and you're going to want to look like the filter. But this isn't real and nobody looks like this. Nobody looks like this. I literally look like a computer. I want to boycott filters because it took me a long time to be like super confident in myself and just like not care about what anyone has to say about my appearance and just love myself no matter what. But like, I know there's so many people out there that rely so heavily on these filters and I think they're so damaging to our mental health and everything and just damaging as a society.
Like, I don't look like this. And the beauty filter is literally switched off. I'm going to put a screenshot in here. Like, there's no filter on my face, by the way. I mean, there is, because like I don't look like this. I'm so confused.
My bone to pick with this godforsaken app is that there is absolutely nothing wrong with my current appearance. I should be happy with the way that I currently look. But then I put this filter on and I'm like, damn, I wish I looked like this. So, yeah, we need to stop. I'm getting severe facial dysmorphia from this skin retouch by Sophie.
This is not my face. I'm going to show you my face. But these filters have just went too far. If I had this face, I would be robbing men. I should anyways, but I would be robbing them. You best bet I'm going to make some thirst traps with this filter. But hang on. Now that's a damn catfish right there. It's been a long day. But give me all your money. Now.
The strange thing about filters is how harmless they looked in the beginning. A little smoothing, better light, cleaner skin, slightly brighter eyes. Nothing dramatic, nothing serious. Just small changes that made a photo feel more polished. That is how a lot of people got pulled in. Not through one huge transformation, but through tiny corrections repeated over and over until the corrected version started to feel more familiar than the real one. And once that happens, something shifts. You are no longer using a filter just to improve a photo. You are slowly learning to prefer a version of your face that does not actually exist. That is where this stops being fun. Because now, the mirror and the camera are telling two different stories. And the one getting rewarded online is usually the edited one.
Most of your favorite influencers are using the beauty filter and you don't even know it. And you know how I know? Because I use the beauty filter in most of my videos. Like, I have the beauty filter on right now. So this is me with the beauty filter on right now. Looks pretty normal, right? And this is me without the beauty filter. I know some people are gonna say it's not that big of a difference, but for me, it is. Okay, actually, oh my god, my under eyes. It covers up everything. Like, it covers up all my spots, my under eye bags, like any like hyperpigmentation, discoloration that I have, completely removes it. And so I've decided in 2026, I'm gonna stop using the beauty filter completely. Like, I'm not gonna use it in any video from now on. I struggled with really bad hormonal acne for so many years, and finally I got rid of that. And I'm still using the beauty filter. So I'm like, what was the point? What was the point of the skincare then? But before I completely stop, I'm going to use it one last time as a farewell because it really saved me for so many years. There she is. Oh my God. I know you're not good for me and my mental health, but I'll miss you. I'll miss you.
So guys, this is my natural face without filter. Okay. See what pimples have done to me. Okay. But I'm still coping. Okay. But I just use the filter so that I don't get to see the pimples because I don't want anything making me polish this face. This is natural face without filter.
I love this filter. Whoever made this TikTok filter needs a raise. I've got these two little hyperpigmentation marks now on my face. So I don't want to feel like every time I come on here, I got to put on some makeup. But look at this filter. Hyperpigmentation where? Beat face everywhere. Honey.
What filters changed most was not photography, it was expectation. Once people got used to seeing softened skin, lifted eyes, sharper jawlines, fuller lips, cleaner symmetry, that look started becoming the quiet standard, not officially. Nobody gathered and voted for it. It just spread. One filtered selfie gets more compliments, then another gets better engagement, another feels safer to post. After that, the unfiltered face starts feeling risky. This is how the cycle builds itself. And the pressure is weird because it does not always sound cruel. A lot of the time it sounds positive. You look amazing, so pretty, glowing. The problem is that the version being praised may be half real and half algorithm. So the brain starts linking approval to modification. Not necessarily surgery, not even makeup, just digital correction. And after enough repetition, regular human features can start feeling like flaws simply because they were no longer the version getting rewarded.
So this is the filter that's breaking TikTok, the bold filter. Let me tell you what I think it's doing from a cosmetic point of view, because this isn't what I look like, and I'll show you what I look like. But yeah, my brows seem like they're lower, and my nose looks a bit narrower. It looks like there's a bit more contour to my cheeks as well. Lips look a bit fuller. Let me see if you guys agree. And without the bold, we can see the eyebrows are a bit higher, nose is a bit wider, and there's less contouring to my cheeks.
This girl got 3 million likes for her nose. Yep, 3 million for simply using a nose filter. A viral moment has inspired TikTok users, especially women, to show off their own perfectly straight noses. While many social media users are saying she totally deserves the love and attention from this trend, others are taking to TikTok to highlight how damaging it can be for those who don't fit traditional beauty standards, perpetuating insecurities among users. Many are calling out for more nose diversity and representation, encouraging each other to love their own noses.
This is what we need more of.
Okay, I just took 22 photos in order to make this post.
The deeper problem is not that people edited photos. It is that people started editing their own self-perception. That is a much bigger deal, because once your face has become cleaned up, tightened up, brightened up, and reshaped on your screen hundreds of times, your actual face can start looking tired, dull, uneven, or somehow unfinished, even when there is nothing wrong with it. That is not vanity, that is conditioning. And this is why filters hit differently from old school beauty culture. You are not comparing yourself to some celebrity across the world, you are comparing yourself to an altered version of your own face, a version built around your insecurities, one that keeps saying, "This is you, but better." That message gets in deep, especially when people are young, online a lot, and still figuring out what they look like in the first place.
Back in like 2017, I was still using Snapchat and excessively using those Snapchat filters that alter your features. And I had seen a plastic surgeon say that he had more patients come in asking for him to turn them into their Snapchat versions of themselves. They would admit that they could not take photos of themselves without Snapchat filters that would change their features. So they would literally go and pay for those features. And at that point, I was like, okay, maybe this isn't healthy, using Snapchat so much and all these filters that just make me look like another person. So I stopped using that app. And then when Instagram filters came out like that, I was like, okay, these are fun for the stories every now and then, but I'm not gonna post them and make people think that that's me. And my confidence is through the roof now.
I am ugly. I said it out loud. It's not that hard. I've come to this realization and epiphany that I'm ugly. I came to this realization the other day. I've been insecure about my face for a really long time and trying to convince myself that I'm beautiful, that I'm pretty, that it's just a bad day. I don't look like this all the time. But no, I've actually come to accept that I am ugly. And rather than sitting there and crying about it, I'm going to do something about it.
Recently, I saw a video of Tana Mojo and Brooke talking about how Brooke posted a video with like basically a bold glamour filter and everyone was roasting her. And she was like, oh, I was like trying to use the one I always use. And when she said that, it all just clicked in my mind of why these influencers are constantly feeling like they need to change their entire face to look the exact same. And it's because they're using these damn filters. Like, I specifically try not to use the filters. I'm used to always seeing myself mirrored. So like either looking in a mirror, looking at the selfie mode on my phone, I only see myself mirrored. So when I see myself the other way, I feel like I look like Quasimodo. Like, lock me up in the bell tower, honey, because I'm lopsided. But realistically, I look normal. I'm just not used to seeing myself like that. So I could not imagine the like damage it does when you use a filter every single day, and that's how your online presence is, and that's how you see yourself, and then you see yourself normal and you're like, oh my god, I need this, I need that.
This is where people get dismissed too early. Someone says filters damage the way they see their face, and the fast response is usually you are overthinking it or just stop using them. But that ignores how these things actually work. If the polished version of your face gets the better response, the better lightening, the better comments, the better confidence, of course, part of you will start reaching for it again. That is not irrational. That is reinforcement. And the internet is full of reinforcement. So now, people are trying to feel okay in a world where even ordinary attractiveness can start feeling low resolution. The baseline moved, and it moved quietly. That is why so many people now hate candid photos. This is why front cameras can feel brutal now. Why some people look in the mirror and do not know whether they are seeing themselves clearly anymore or through disappointment of comparison. That is not a small shift. That changes how people move through everyday life.
This is a great example of why social media is toxic and dangerous. So I have this filter on, right? I love it because it's very simple, slims certain parts of my face down, makes me look nicely even skin tone, right? Watch when I take this thing off. Now I feel like I look like Shrek, dude. It's so crazy. It like does so much. See? Look how even my skin tone looks, and it like does this little random nose contour, and then like my face. This is toxic. It makes me wanna fix myself.
Okay, this is my skin. Let's move closer to the light. This is my skin. No filter, no nothing, no makeup. Literally just washed it, and I am not happy with how it looks. I feel like I could do a lot better. So I'm booking my facial.
So ever since being a part of the plastic surgery community, the aesthetic industry, there's one topic that I feel really passionate about. I'm not going to get into too much depth about it, but it's generally the idea that I'm seeing so many patients with body dysmorphic disorder, and the fact that when they go on social media and look at other people's accounts, we're all just looking at everyone else thinking that, oh my God, look how amazing everyone else looks. But here's the thing. Every couple of days, I get a DM or a message from someone who on Instagram says, hey, I need a rhinoplasty. Hey, I need a neck lift. Hey, I need a facelift. And I'm going through their pictures. I'm scrolling through, and they look incredible. They look really good. Their face doesn't look like they need a rhinoplasty, a facelift, or a neck lift. And I sent them a quick message, and I'm like, hey, I'm just scrolling through your pictures, and your nose looks incredible, or your face looks incredible. I don't think you need anything done. And then they're like, no, wait, let me show you what I really look like. And so then they send me the unedited pictures. And I'm going to tell you right now, most people look completely different. They do not look like how you see them on Instagram or on social media. Most of these images are edited. Most of these videos are edited. I am shocked. When they send me what they really look like, then I'm like, okay, I see it. I get it. I get why you're interested in undergoing a rhinoplasty, or why you're undergoing a neck lift, or why you want a chin implant. Most of these images are just been heavily edited, and it's just a negative spiral for everyone, because these patients, potential patients, have, they're looking at themselves, they have body dysmorphic disorder, and then it just is a negative cycle because other people look at them and say, wow, look how perfect they look. I want to look like that. And it just becomes this negative, repetitive cycle of where we just look at everyone else's pictures and think, wow, they look incredible. But the reality of it is they don't look anything like their Instagram.
I think that we seriously need to boycott face filters.
Alright, so I saw this video and everybody seems to be attacking her for saying this. And I get where people are coming from because she also uses makeup and stuff like that, whatever. That's fine. But we're talking about filters on your phone. We're talking about Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. Filters that people are using all the time. They can't take a photo or a video without using filters. And what is this doing to your mind? It's making you psychologically programmed that you need to look this certain way. Or people are becoming insecure. Simple as that. Women are becoming super insecure with how they look, with their appearance. If they don't look like their filter, it's non-realistic. And that's her point. And I understand where she says, boycott. I get it. That's why. Maybe if we didn't have filters, some of you would be more confident in how you look when you turn on the camera and you point at selfie mode.
I am on a journey to start posting without filters this year. I say it every single year. I start off well and then I end up using filters again. But this year, I think I mean it. So here I am. I feel like I've developed face dysmorphia because of the overuse of filters. And this is my face I see every single day, but when I'm looking on the camera, I'm like, is this really me? Is this what I look like?
I have a very strange confession. I've been using TikTok for a few years now, and I always knew there was a filter. That is why the moment we open TikTok and we see ourselves, we like what we look like because it's a possibility of a face that is flawless, that is brighter, that does not have all these wrinkles. And I've just been using it without thinking so much about it. Today I found that icon, I took it off and I realized this is how I look like. And mind you, this is a face with makeup. I have my lipstick on, I have my foundation on, but I just realized with the filter I looked so much better, and I suddenly saw this real self and I felt a little disappointed, which got me thinking how unhealthy that is. Not being able to embrace who we really are, but relying on a filter which is really over processed, that you don't really look like yourself anymore. So this is the real me that I look like when I go to work. Of course there's still makeup. Probably without makeup I'll be a bit scarier. Just to show you a little bit of a before after, or after whatever you want to call it. And look at this, a face with filter. So much fairer, so much brighter. This has gotten tighter. I don't always look like this. I have some chubbiness. Filter. I don't want this filter anymore. So upcoming videos, no more filter. It is the makeup that I have on and it is what I am. Probably a slighter change for better mental health, for better self-worth.
Hey guys, I think it's time to talk about the bold glamour filter. Gotta admit, totally tried it. And I was like, and I felt really good. Except I didn't. And I left it in the drafts, and I couldn't really put my finger on why. It left me feeling anxious and sad and old and like blah. You know what I mean? I liked it too much. And part of why we all like it so much is because it actually blurs the lines of reality. And if I'm a mom who's teaching, positive affirmations every night with my kids, hoping they love themselves, and I'm leading by saying the only way I feel great is by erasing myself, I'm harming us all. When you realize that 80% of 13-year-old kids, girls specifically, have used a filter to make themselves, in their minds, more attractive. I don't think these are here to help us. I think these filters are here to hurt us. And I think it's time we turned our back on them.
What filters really changed was trust. Trust in the mirror, trust in the camera, trust in what a normal face even looks like now. And once that trust starts slipping, insecurity gets a lot more room to grow. Because if your edited face is the one that feels safe, and your real face is the one you hesitate to show, then the damage is already deeper than a selfie app. At this point, the filter is no longer just sitting on the photo, it is sitting in your mind. And that is what should worry people. Not because editing a photo is evil, Not because everyone who uses filters is broken, but because a whole generation has been trained to look at a softened, corrected version of themselves and call that the more acceptable face. That is a heavy thing to normalize. And this happens to all of us. You take your phone app, open an app, and then put a filter on. When you look at yourself, yes, you like what you see because your cheeks have been lifted a little bit, some changes here and there, and you like it. Take the filter off, and then you start to see all the marks on your face. You start to see that, oh, I've got wrinkles here, I look old, I look darker. It's happening to everybody. Have filters made people more confident, or have they made real faces harder to live with? Tell me how you see it in the comments, and stay with the ugly truth for the conversation people usually avoid having honestly.